Hello everyone, and welcome to a video on the Political Overhaul mod for Frostpunk 2. We're going to be checking this out today. We are playing it on Steward difficulty as well while we check it out here. You can see that because we have minus 92 shelter at the beginning. So, the Political Overhaul mod. A few disclaimers. First off, the mod does have placeholder art. It is not a finished product. It is a passion project, so that's still in progress. Some of that placeholder art has been made by artificial intelligence. However, they are planning to replace that art with human-made art when they can get the finances to pay an artist to commission them to make that art. They have also added a document to the Steam page for the mod, where you will be able, where if you open it, it's a Google Docs document. It will tell you what pieces of art in the game were made by AI. And that is to kind of help give additional transparency to the matter. So, disclaimer aside, what is the Political Overhaul mod? Well, it is a mod that seeks to add additional politics to the game of Frostpunk 2, especially because it eventually gets a bit easy and you kind of dominate the political system. So it adds a few things. First off, it adds 2 new issues. One of those is strain. This is basically the representation of how much of a workload your people are taking. So if you've done the last autumn DLC for the first game, think of strain kind of like work safety. When this gets high, problems happen. Things get worse, people start dying, and that's not good. But when it's not there, people don't die and we can have a nice time. And then there's corruption. And this is basically representing how centralized the power structure in the city is, as well as how exploited and abused it is, and whether we're taking measures against that. So, kind of like strain, it causes problems, we want to keep it as low as possible. It's like everything else up here. It also adds new laws as well, which we will see by opening up the council menu as soon as I have that ready to go. And yeah, we're just going to get right into it. We're going to probably play for about 2-ish hours at most. I have forgotten my industrial district. We are off to a terrible start. I should be fired immediately from the council. I should be removed from my position and stripped of my rank. So, we are going to enter the council here, and we're going to take a look at the new laws. And if you're looking at this already, if it looks different to you, that's because it is. It already has new laws you can enact right at the start, such as goods design, which allows you to decide between prioritizing essential goods or making luxury goods at an exchange. And this one doesn't have any placeholder art, it's just using an asset, the typewriter asset. I think a lot of the laws have that presently. They're trying to figure out the art they want to put in. But yeah, as you can see, this is actually a merit and equality law. Apparently this does 2 small steps towards equality. There are some bugs. It is a passion project, and it's never... is the mod ever truly finished? We might actually go for that, because heat demand decrease sounds amazing. But that's not what we're going to touch right away. You can also see there's public transport, tool ownership, worker safety. Look at that strain. We could prioritize efficiency. The economy and societies have new laws as well. Some of them you can do right away, such as work compensation and free time, but other things like transportation access and automaton navigation guidelines still require research. And then society doesn't actually have anything new for you right away, but it does have a healthcare model as well as... is there anything else in here? Language! Yeah, nope, that's fine. There are also some new rule laws added into it as well for the power of centralization, such as bureaucratic accountability, which I think might be slightly misspelled, but I would need to check that at a later date. Now, I have been warned by one of the developers that whiteout management is currently having an issue where this rule law does sometimes cause crashes, so we are not going to try to enact that law. We might not really do many rule laws this early on in general. But for now, we're just going to do a law I always really love doing, and that is deciding on durable or mass-produced goods. And I think we're just going to wing it towards adaptation, and we'll just see what happens. Yes, let's do this. I have played previous versions of the mod that were publicly available on Steam, but not this newest update one. So we are going to go ahead and see how terribly it destroys us. hopefully not too badly. We're just gonna spend all of our money now and then wonder why I can't do anything else. Not really. I'm gonna tax the laborers because they're the smallest group, so they're the least likely to be able to tell me I can't do that. Alright. We are going to try to get to the new laws as soon as we can. The game might get a little laggy as well, which could just be the fact I'm playing on very high settings. Could also be because we have the mod installed. I'm going to choose to arbitrarily believe that it's a bit of both. Style? But let's see. Yep, here's tool ownership, for example, and equality law shared ownership. Increased tension because, you know, you don't own your own tools. But production efficiency and trust. What's not to love about that? You can kind of see there's a new law right here, for example, that's kind of splintering off from hospitals. That's probably the healthcare law. There's a new law splintering off from here as well. So that's really fun stuff to see. And look, language regulation. It's in red. I wonder why. It can't be anything nefarious. When has a law ever been nefarious in Frostpunk? When have you ever had a questionable, potentially dangerous law ever be in Frostpunk 2? We'll go ahead and get the salvage factory. I'll do what I usually do in these kinds of openings. Try to get the goods industry going relatively early while we don't need the others. Although we do need to work on materials relatively fast. Not because I want to, but just because they are falling a little quicker than I'd like. Kind of need to buy ourselves time after all. We're enacting all these laws in the background. So this is still forged additives. There's nothing new about it. We're just enacting that really quick. But yeah, we're going to try to see if we can't get through everything in 2 hours, because the mod also has unions, and these unions are kind of a mixture of communities and factions. They have 2 ideologies that they support. So they support one more than communities, but one less than factions. I don't believe they do faction actions, but they do have effects depending on their relations, both positive and negative. So this means they do still matter in your city, and what they think of you still matters. But it's going to be a little harder to... Durable goods? Durable goods. It is going to be a little harder to kind of balance everything, especially if they have different ideas from us. We're actually running out of prefabs. We've kind of run out of prefabs. Yes, and now we wait. Nope, now we realize we're about to run out of coal because yours truly wasn't even paying attention to the coal supply. Oof. I suppose, yeah, our housing districts are not optimally built, so this makes sense that it's falling a little fast. So maybe we'll just quickly redesign a few here, and why don't we ask the machinists for some funds too? That will make them upset, but you know what? They're gonna be really happy in their new, comfortable, slightly less cold homes that we just made up. Because they don't actually exist. We actually really need more prefabs. A lot more than I was planning on there. The factory, this is exactly why I want the factory right off the bat, too, is just because of how cold it gets. It's only 90% research speed. I was thinking of building another research institute. We might actually go for weather-adjusted shifts early. It drops strain. Not that strain's an issue. Machine-centric shifts. Oh, so this just drops strain regardless. That's nice. That makes it a little simple. It's not going to be that kind to us, is it? Oh, all do maintenance increases strain. There you go. I was wondering when we'd find one of those. Alright, I think what we're just going to do for now, maybe a sawmill, maybe not. Actually, heating is just the problem. I did mention that just now, didn't I? Housing insulation is fun. Who doesn't love asbestos? Who doesn't love it? Just a straight up heat demand reduction? What's not to love? Let's go ahead and get a mine. And I actually, what is that event? I'm curious. Is it anything specific? It's just a new lamp. It's just a new lamp event. Nothing new there. You know what? Why don't we enact one of the new laws? Since we already have some of them available. Although I don't think unregulated compensation to elders, I don't think. Is that a tradition law? It is. How did I know? It just says elders. Why don't we do a goods design law? And, I mean, equality. I love the proteins. But I kind of want to see what essential goods does, even though I really shouldn't enact it this early because we do have, like, minus 200 a day. Alright. So what does our heat look like now? Minus 50. Because it only affects the districts, it does not affect the buildings. It is minus 20 to the modifier, though. That is pretty nice. That'll come in handy down the line. Okay, well, we'll make sure we don't freeze first. I know we're working on the new dust coal mine, but, yeah, the heating just wore out. Just make sure there's no actual problem. There we go. No! I'm making no materials. I am the best at this game. I am the best at being the worst. Because now there are no goods at all. It's been a while since I've run out of materials. Although, I've been playing the, what is it called? The City Development mod? No, sorry, City Development Effort mod on algorithm difficulty. That has been kicking my butt a lot, which is why I haven't made any videos on it in a while, because I keep dying after the second or third whiteout. It's a very tough mod, which is very fun, but it requires a completely different play style because of how different it is. So we are just going to go ahead and gather that. I'm actually, usually this has a coal mine at the start, which is why I love playing on the Horizon map. It looks like that's been moved to the glacier this time. But I did have 50,000 coal and 50,000 materials, which is fantastic right now because we have no materials and everything is about to start collapsing on us. Okay, since child rights is becoming an issue, we do actually get 3 options here now. We can now actually leave it up to the parents. That's not even an ideology. If you wanted to leave it up to the parents, this mod lets you. It will let you leave it up to them. But I love mandatory schools, partially for the research, even though it's going to hurt the heat stamps. The real reason why I love it is when you can turn it over to just make food forever. That I really like. Salvaging factory. I do want to build this, so I will just take that. And that's another great thing, too, I love in this game, which I think will reflect in the Political Overhaul mod as well, is just making promises for things I was going to do anyway. Like, yep, I was going to do that, so I will just promise to do it. To do the thing I was already setting up to do. It sounds so silly when I put it that way, though. 19 weeks, that is not going to last. So maybe we divert and actually do the sawmill. I really like the adaptation stuff, but I feel like I should do at least a little bit of the machinist's progress, just so they don't try to hang us in the streets afterwards. I guess, we could give them something. We could give them a sawmill. It's definitely not because I don't have any workers left or anything. Absolutely not. Why would you think that? Return from the city. We solved one problem, and now the problem with the outsiders is beginning. Sorry, I entered the council 2 hours early before they were ready for me to walk in to assign a law. We have the new... Oh, taxation law. Production efficiency is increased, heat stamps decreased, or you get heat stamps. I do love me a good heat stamp. There's 6 here now in community service? Communal debates and neighborhood watch. Oh, so does... Okay, so every ideology now has something in community service. I think I noticed that before, but I haven't played the mod in a little while, so I am kind of not remembering. We could go for allow productive outsiders. I do love that. But I kind of want to double down on the laborers right now, just for fun. This is not optimal. The optimal law to do here is productive, because it gives you heat stamps and workers. Like, if we were playing algorithm difficulty in the city development mod, I would not do accept all outsiders. Actually, I probably wouldn't accept outsiders at all for a little while until my hand was forced. Okay, we need to make these goods again because we are not making a lot. Citizens want you to expand democracy, concerned about the growing corruption in the city. Bloody hell, it's the same lot making all the calls again. Ain't it funny how only a handful get a say in what happens to the rest of us? They sit in their fine offices, passing laws that suit them, while we're left to just nod along and suffer for it. Wouldn't mind it so much if they weren't lining their own pockets while we scrape by. More seats at the table might fix that, or at least make them work for it. So that is actually a new narrative event for the mod, which means we should be getting our first event to establish one of those unions, I believe it's called in the game. We could make another research institute. I kind of want to, but I think I kind of need to build. I'm looking for the sawmill, which we only just now finished researching. So yeah, we're off to a fantastic start over here. Oh god, okay. Yep, nope, everything is fine. Nothing is going wrong. We're not out of money. I'm not watching things slowly cascade out of control. Because what is Frostpunk 2 if not a situation generator where you're starving in three different ways simultaneously? Ooh, heat stamps in the valley. That is probably the event where you can find tea. And honestly, if we're finding it that early, I'm just gonna sell the tea.
If you see newcomer outsiders idling,
we have 24 weeks. This is fun. I'm glad to be doing another Frostpunk 2 video. I know I said that in the last one I did too. That one was just more of a, hey, I did this thing where I broke a piece of the campaign. No, this is just genuine gameplay as it goes, which is nice. Ooh. Hello. Adaptation. Corpses will have their bones and organs removed before they're used as an alternative fuel for the generator. Removed components will be converted into fertilizer ingredients. I can finally use the dead the way I want. Now I'm gonna say it does say the organs will be removed before they are used. I think it's supposed to say removed before they're used as an alternative source and fuel for the generator. I think something might have happened there where autocorrect kind of force corrected and no one really caught it. So that might be something I'll have to reach out and let them know right after this video is done. So for all you know, by the time you see this, they'll probably already be aware of it. Progressive taxation. It's just funny to see the laborers asking for that, because now I feel like I'm playing Victoria 3. Which is just funny to me. The machinists, I really need to promise them something, actually. I guess machine-centric shifts is something I could go for. I'm trying to do this on Steward difficulty. That way there's enough pressure that things can go wrong. But it's not going to be so catastrophic to where we just have to immediately murder one side and we can't fully experience the new political system. If I just murder it right off the bat, then that's not going to be fun. We're not really going to experience it then. Their lives ended, but their bodies can still serve the city. It's the practical choice. So, again, this is stuff for disrespecting the dead like this. Is there no line we won't cross? That's all new stuff in the mod that was written in. So that's not stuff you would see in a regular game of Frostpunk 2. I'm getting my games confused in my head now. I'm actually going to drop this a little bit here. Actually, I know we're losing coal still, but I'm trying to see if I can't make something work here. Probably not. Normally I would have gotten the adaptation one, but we're doing this a little differently. Are the houses adding heat at all? Heat demand. Not by a lot. They technically are, but we can kind of fix that. Disease is an issue, so hospitals would be good. We could start passing some of these laws, but I want to see some of the merit ones. I don't know if we're going to go full equality this time. We could just swing by and go merit. So what I think we'll do is we'll just preempt our food needs. Because that's what I'm thinking on right now is food needs. 43 to 36. Maybe I negotiate again just to win people over. Don't know if that's what I want to pass. Shared ownership. Oh man, they're like, you will pass a law for us. I guess we'll all do maintenance then. I'll go back on my word to bribe someone else. Am I a politician yet? Or do I need to have like an incident during an election before I'm a politician? I don't know how that works. All right. Common herd, meager coal mine, tea cash, 400 heat stamps, trust falls. Normally, I would use that to get trust because I feel like sharing tea with everyone. However, I would really like that 400 heat stamp boost that we just got. We have no workers. No one wants to work. Look at these 20 people who aren't working because they're sick, because they're squalor and stuff. You know, maybe we're the problem. Maybe we've caused this issue. What do we want to regulate next? Kind of want to do community services. Did I promise any laws? No. We could pass one of the new laws again. I don't know. I feel like we're not seeing all of those laws yet. Although heat pipe watch. Yeah, heat pipe watch. Who doesn't love reducing all the heat demand by another 20? Per district.
Have spoken. The law
Yep, there we go. All fine. We'll be ready for the brittle wood. There goes all of our materials. Brittle wood whiteouts. Yay! I'm having fun. God. Okay.
The delegates have reached a decision.
No, don't worry. The population will grow soon, and then we'll have larger demands that we can't meet. Charred workshop. 50,000 coal materials again. Wow. Okay. Fuel colony with indefinite coal and indefinite oil. I think this is probably not the best fuel colony to get, because isn't this the wind-swept peaks? Yeah, so you get 2 oil spots and a coal spot. I prefer the one that gives you 3 oil spots, personally. Just because oil is worth more than coal in terms of the heat ratio, and there is a 10,000 cap limit. Ah! Steward, there's growing unrest in the city. More and more citizens are grumbling about how only a select few hold sway over the council's decisions. Factory workers, engineers, even the traders, many believe their voices go unheard while policies that shape their lives are decided without them. It's always the same ones at the table, grumbles a worker outside a factory. They talk about the city's future, but what do they know about living like us? Maybe it's time we had a real say. So you can choose to not expand democracy, but right now there is a bug where if you do this, you never get the event again. So you just kind of never get anyone, and refusing to do so increases corruption. So we have 3 options here. We have a lot of options, I think. Let's check the survival and economy. So right now there's only the industrialists who support progress and merit. The others are a work in progress, so you can't choose them. But as you can see, they're going to add homesteaders, naturalists, and automites. So that'll be fun. Then there is survival and society, which has the inheritors for adaptation and tradition. But the experimenters, the imperialists, and the visionaries will be added in the future. And then, economy and society, if that wasn't enough. You have the idealists, the syndicalists, the gentrists, and the pragmatists. Since we actually have already been doing equality and reason laws, I'm actually going to pick the idealists, because I think they'll align with our society more. So I've not seen them before. Optimists by nature, these community-minded individuals hope to rebuild a better world than what was left behind. Broken from the ties of tradition, they wish to let all experience the warmth of humanity. And there we are. Let's see, all are equal in this world, reason to foster progressive attitudes. We can bribe them for increased corruption. So that's cool. I don't know if they do any... I'm pretty sure they're supposed to have effects if they really like you. but I don't quite know what those are yet. Oh, wait, there it is. Due to positive relations, the idealists encourage citizens to remain optimistic about the future and foster a large trust boost in the population. Their city improvement efforts are also more efficient, reducing disease, squalor, and tension without the additional goods requirement. They just become a significant decrease. Disease, squalor, and tension. Okay. That's cool. So does that mean if they get upset with us, they increase these problems? They start festering disease, or is it just like they make everyone really angry at you? We might find out, because we might get another another group in the future. Does it call them, it doesn't call them unions, it just calls them a community, but they're a community with 2 ideas. As opposed to just the one. It does mean we can start doing reason research. So that's fun. What do I want to pass? We're kind of done in this one because actually there is work safety, isn't there? I don't want to drop production efficiency though. We're about to yeah, we have a week on the law, so we'll let the law finish. Let's get the bio-waste hothouse built in that case. 1, because the whiteout is coming, but also 2, I would very much like to trigger the bio-waste event. Yep, speaking of whiteouts, we'll just start getting research ready then. Actually, let me do the generator upgrade really quick, just so I can tap into the nearby steam and oil deposit if we need it. I don't think we'll need it. We actually have a stockpile of coal. But you never know. Things could go really bad really fast. Such is the way of Frostpunk 2. One day it looks fine, the next half the people are asking for you to kindly step down as they storm the council office. But as you can see, the idealists can be negotiated with. They do also vote, so they're another group in the council. And what's supposed to end up happening is, as time goes on here, you're going to get other groups that appear too, and they will also have their own ideas and votes. Now, as you saw, there's only 3 available, but by the end, there's hopefully going to be 12 different ones you can pick from. I don't know how many you get in total in a run. I think it's at least 2, possibly 3, hence why we have 3 options. But we will find out. Or drown. You know, whichever comes first. So now they're supporting. I don't know if that bumps this up harder.
The delegates have reached a decision.
I do know that it's getting colder, which is never fun. What is fun is tall buildings. Now that is fun. What is not fun is the fact that we're going to run out of food because our little hunting spot is gone. So now we have to find even more. How rude. Why couldn't have the food? Why couldn't the food just last longer? Everyone needs to eat less food. Actually, running out of coal much faster than I anticipated. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. Ignore the fact it's getting colder. Nothing bad ever happens in the city. That's a fact. I'm definitely not about to research melting deep deposits out of a severe fear of running out of coal. Whatever would give you that idea. Actually, that being said, I would like to research scouting headquarters because we do need to drop the territory threat level if we're going to get anywhere. Yeah, this is going fine. Steward difficulty isn't too bad. I keep forgetting about the council, though. Which is normal, so. I guess contagion prevention. Oh, I really don't want supported quarantine, though, because it increases the shelter per capita. Even if it affects disease better, I just don't like it. Because I don't want to increase my shelter per capita demand. How am I supposed to stuff 1 million people in the city, then, if I do that? I guess we'll try to pass a tax law, but I'm not going to actually try to pass it. We'll just see what happens. Just to say we're doing something. Oh! Exactly enough votes. Huh. Neat. I'm sure that won't backfire. We have no workers. So nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. That's the downside of not having any of the increases, that we need a lot more people to get the same amount of stuff going. But that's fine. Skyman landmark. Last hunt that has food, which we'll take. And tar pits. We're finding a lot of oil. Coal Valley. Don't mind if we do. We might make a path to one of the nearby oil sources just to stockpile it before the incoming storm whacks us on the head and tries to murder us. I'm just glad that we have an actual stockpile of materials, but I really should build a genuine stockpile at some point. We're not doing any research, that's a problem. This is what I get for playing City Development Effort, one of the last times I was on here. I'm feeling like I'm having to wait longer for everything when I don't, because I'm not on algorithm difficulty, we're on Steward difficulty. Because in the City Development Effort mod, it takes twice as long for the council to meet. Oh, it's just a little bit of corruption. Who doesn't like some guard enforcers? I'm not corrupt, I swear. I wouldn't be doing anything questionable. Okay, maybe I would. In the game.
The delegates have
Figure we'll just keep passing laws before the other groups can appear. We'll force them to accept our ways. God, I said I wouldn't do that, now we're doing it. I see an event. Pick your poison. Groups of potential new presences eagerly await their turn to pitch their ideas to you. Future proposals and organizations in the city, each specializes in a certain area of the city's ecosystem, so choosing to bolster any specific group would see their impact greaten for both better and worse in their trade. Currently, we've identified 4 main contenders based on your input. All you have to do is give your word, and we'll get the paperwork in order, and their elected delegates will take their seat in the council. Ah! And notice how all the options have tradition or merit. But the previous group we put in charge had equality and reason. So it's gonna force you to pick someone on the opposite spectrum there. So you will have conflict. I guess we'll try the inheritors. So we'll have 2 different groups that both support adaptation but are different in their reason. I haven't really seen the inheritors. Steadfast in their faith, the inheritors seek to reclaim the frost as their own and harmonize with it. Guided by old writings interpreted anew, they pray that their course of action will be returned by prosperity and longevity. Here they are. Compliance. Due to neutral relations, inheritors regularly forage the Frostlands for food, providing a small amount of food production, but also regularly preach their ideals of subsistence to the city's citizens, decreasing population growth. I see. How much are they adding? I don't know if it tells us. Oh, but they have stopped our population growth. The population is stalled. Great. That's awesome. I love that. Okay then. Significantly increased by growing delegate loophole abuses. Oh, well that sounds like a problem. I was informed that watchtowers do help us deal with crime if it ever becomes a problem. And you know what? I do love me a good patrol watchtower. I would love a good infectious badge, so disease is decreased. We're kind of leaving the machinists out to dry here, though. Mass public transit. Production efficiency increased. Workforce requirement is decreased. Ooh. You know what? I'm willing to promise that I will research for that just because that sounds amazing. I don't even care if it's a production law. Or, yeah, law.
Hear ye. The votes are in.
We'll let the Watchtower research finish first. I am actually gonna quit. Oh, the Bohemians are who we rolled. Cool. That makes sense, given what we've been passing. There's a lot of people on one side of the list right now. I feel like the machinists are kind of being left out. And the Bohemians have already begun a rally, so we'll just take heat stamps from them, and then we'll ignore them and hope they go away. Oh, we have strain. Unregulated workplace safety. Oh, do I need to regulate that at some point? Could have sworn we didn't need to do any of that. I guess we should. Maybe we do need to regulate workplace safety just a little. Just a little. We do not have the workers in that case. Ah, that's why this number is spiking, because people are getting injured at work. Okay, so we gotta solve that now. So that's just new stuff you have to start solving on top of everything else. I have been told that this mod should be compatible with the City Development Effort mod, but I have not tried. So I cannot say. But it definitely changes the balance again, I'm sure. We're running out of materials already. We're just harvesting the ground. Oh yeah, so here are some of the inheritors in the council room. Here are some of the idealists. They do also partake in the council room. Attempted to prove he could read minds. Rancid breath. Loves jokes about political incompetence. That's ironic considering he's serving as a politician. Is starting to forget things. Dreams about oatmeal. Doesn't want anyone to know about his past incestuous relationship. I see the people we appoint to the council haven't changed. Yeah. Oh wait, no, we actually need to pass a law. So it looks like workplace safety is kind of like the children's law. If you don't do anything about it for long enough, you start to have problems because of it. Let's do safety equipment. The inheritors will like that, and I can be happy about not spending more resources or having less production efficiency. We're definitely spending more resources. Equal pay, shared ownership. I will just bribe them with money by funding their projects, which is technically a bribe and not a bribe.
Hear ye, hear ye. The votes are in.
There we go. That will drop our strain. I do like the addition of strain, because now you can't just go and enact all the laws that give you increased production efficiency. You actually need to balance it out with something else, or people will just start dropping dead every 5 minutes. Hospitals don't reduce strain. That makes sense. It makes sense that hospitals don't reduce strain. Because again, that would make it too easy. Liberated youth reduces strain. Dutiful youth increases strain. That makes sense because they're having to conduct activities under supervision, and you get in trouble when you don't follow the script and all that, and you're stressed out. And anyway, public transport. So optimize public transit. It's an adaptation law. Reduces outpost upkeep and increases production efficiency in outposts, or reducing the workforce requirement in food and logistics districts. Or you can get mass public transport, or transit, which increases squalor, has a notable decrease on heat stamp income, but raises production efficiency, reduces the workforce requirement, and increases active workers. I love the sound of that. So let's kind of fulfill our promises here. And we wanted to build the Surveillance headquarters anyway, we just don't have people, so we're going to work on mass public transit. Look at that. Oh, we're making some good stuff now that people aren't strained. And the whiteout's coming, but, you know, safety equipment or not, it's still us risking our necks out there. Oh, I missed the previous thing they were saying about the new law. Darn. I should try to catch that more. This stuff's cool. Because they put in all the effort to actually write in reactions to the laws you're passing for the new law stuff. So it feels just like the base game. Ooh, tracker shacks. I wonder, I'm actually wondering this. Is there a way for them to add in... Oh, no, there probably isn't. Because I know you can find, like, laborers to bring back, for example, for communities in the Frostland. But I think those are pre-generated at the start of the game because it knows who you start with. So I think the only way it would work is if you started with one of the new communities at the very beginning. And I don't know if you could actually make that work. So what is this? Reason and tradition. They decrease production efficiency either way. So basically it's a question of, do you want to just focus on reducing strain, or do you want to kind of reduce tension and gain trust? Or do you want to use the free time law to bribe someone and to bribe a faction into supporting you more? Because I do kind of want to see what happens if the inheritors like me, but they really don't like the whole favoring reason thing. So maybe we'll bribe them with that. I did hear there are some new law synergies as well. One example I was shown is that if you did durable goods and luxury goods, you can get a synergy event from that. I don't know if there's one for durable and essential. There probably isn't, but we'll see. Which is also pretty cool. We'll probably not really run into any of those because that's the only one I know of. And I haven't seen any since. Nor have I been told of any since. I think we'll ignore the law book for the moment here, just because we need to keep production up until we get past this first whiteout. Also, we're kind of running out of coal, I think. Maybe not running out of coal, but one of the mines has gone empty here. Do you have any? You do. Okay. We are actually going to go ahead and... I never did the research. I was gonna say, hang on, I can just harvest more. Yeah, we never did the research, did we? Alright, time to bribe. Foragers have an active promise. We're still researching. When is the Forager one done? I have to build the survivalist headquarters. We'll do that really quickly then. You know, just in time for the whiteout to hit and make it irrelevant for 20 weeks. Or however long it'll last. So... deprioritized automaton navigation. Active workers increase disease. I want to see what the other law is before I pass that, though. I guess I can just promise to build a bio-waste hothouse. That's easy. We're gonna build one anyway. It's not really a problem. I want to see what this law does for us. Kind of like representatively. How it actually looks. Ooh, that is a nice 1,300 people we have for working now. Let's see, you were dropped a bit. Okay, so it's like machine-centric shifts. It drops it by the same amount. In some districts, not in the food district, but I guess that makes sense. It operates differently, I suppose. Which is fine, we can work with that. It means all of our extraction districts are going to be less of a hassle to maintain. Let's go ahead and just build that here. We can always build a third one somewhere else to shift it around as we need. There is the whiteout. So we'll activate overdrive. We're going to run out in 22 weeks, and we have 20 weeks of a whiteout, so we'll be fine. We do have no heat stamps, but that's okay. There's not much we can do while the storm's hitting the city. Let's see, you're getting 97 for 43. It's probably just more worth it to shut it down at that point. And just burn through the stockpile. Food colony! Yay! Hopefully we'll be alive to use that. Housing installation would be good, wouldn't it? Just for whiteouts at least, yeah. Always kind of saves you money there in the long run. We'll just do that. Speaking of money, what if I... Oh, right, Patrol Watchtowers can investigate corruption. Hang on. They want me to do that anyway. There we go. It's diminishing it, so that's good. So what that does is it's very much like using the mobilize to get guard squads. It's going to stop producing crime while it's active like that. So it's not helping to reduce crime. In fact, crime is going up because we're trying to expose it now instead. And obviously the corrupt officials are going to cause problems, and they're not going to be very agreeable. And you have to deal with all of that. Just drop that a bit there, just to buy time. Yeah, so that's fun. Asbestos finishes, and we drop almost 80 points in our heat demand, which is also fun. In fact, I think... let's start setting up for exploration, maybe? Oh, right, transport access. Oh, is there only one idea for this, and it's... equality. We don't have any of the merit, do we? We don't. Right, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. What is optimized? Automaton navigation. Squalor increases, workforce requirements down, production efficiency is up. Or we just get more workers and less disease. Oh, those are both good laws. Ooh, those are both good. I don't know which one I want. I also love the whiteout music. I just can't get over it. I'm sure I've mentioned it before in my past videos. The whiteout music is just so good to listen to. I very much love listening to it. What if I grant you the agenda for the next council? So now that replaces it with allegiance. Due to positive relations, inheritors regularly perform city sermons, raising the trust of local attendees and collecting periodic heat stamp donations, which are passed on to the city. Their foraging still provides a small amount of food production, and their sermons focus on the Frostland. And their sermon focuses on the Frostland and reduce their preaches of God, I can't say that word. Basically, they're not messing with the population growth anymore. I'll get it someday. I'll be fine. Elder's contribution. I mean, I'm not particularly looking to get it passed. I guess I'll just let them vote. I was just curious how that changes. So they have 3 levels. They have levels where they have an allegiance to you, and they actually help. They provide you various help in their own unique ways, which I don't know if that's relative to their size. So I don't know, does that affect that they do grow as their faction gets larger with city population, or is it stagnant? So, for example, the idealists are causing disease to be significantly decreased. I don't think it's going to be any higher than that. I almost missed that. And I'm just wondering, does it get bigger as they get bigger? I don't think it does. Although, considering it says here that they're reducing tension without the additional goods requirement, I think that means at compliance level, the idealists do use goods. And then obviously if they're upset with you, they're actually going to cause you problems. Let's see. Current relations with inheritors 2.3. Okay, so that one is kind of modifying itself as laws do. So you know what? The inheritors are helping to pay for mass public transit. Just don't tell them that. They might be upset that they're helping the machinists pay for their law. Is it a tax or is it a donation? That's a good question. I just thought of that. I suppose it's a donation. That happens to help? Oh, we have no coal. We need to find more steam cores. I was gonna say heat stamps. I don't think heat stamps will make a deep deposit drill function. So we're just gonna spread for the materials really quickly here. Coal is fine. We're not gonna have any issues for that for the foreseeable future. But we'll go ahead and start harvesting the materials that we need. Or at least most of the materials that we need. Let's actually just build a second extraction district really quick. Because these are temporary, they won't last. Settlement furnace. With or without permission, you let one in, then another. Thought you could keep a grip on it. Too late for that now. You let them in, and delegates nears, thumb hooked in their belt. And yet you leave us in the cold? Don't think so. They're here now, and they ain't leaving. What started as a trickle turned into a flood. This council don't belong to the old guard no more. A third group joined the council. They don't seem to be asking for permission. I see. So you can't just engineer this. Technicians and foremen determined to make the greatest use of technology and fueled by the desire to improve it. They observe those of high potential and see that they are put to where they shine the best. They are currently upset with us. Sabotage! Due to low trust levels, industrialists are not motivated to take care of their factories, resulting in increased strain and increased material demand. Awesome! Significantly increased by current relations with industrialists. And then if we go over to our factories here, I saw the materials fluctuate, but I don't know. Oh, I see. The industrial districts, minus 20 from current relations with industrialists. Oh, that's clever. That's clever, because that's a requirement. That's a mandatory need that's harder to get rid of. But it looks like it specifically affects the goods industry, which makes sense. Interesting, okay. Promise to research personalized transport. Personalized transport? I mean, I'll promise to build a deep melting drill. I just gotta find a steam core. Hopefully. We can actually go ahead and reduce the work at the extraction district a bit. And just kind of wait. I actually like that, though, how you can't just do what you want. You can't just, choose the ones that'll favor the laws you want and keep the other one out. The other one's coming in whether you like it or not. As it said in the second choice that we had to make, pick your poison. Because then it's gonna decide that third bottle. Let's ask the foragers for funds. Just because I don't have enough to do any research yet. And I really want to do research. We could do a waste heat conversion, maybe, for production efficiency. Why not? Why not? Let's give the industrialists a reason not to blow their factories up.
Any suspicious behavior to your local...
Ah, and there we are. The overseers have also now appeared. They dislike progressive taxation. Ah, well, I wonder why. What could they ever dislike about it? 1,600 machinists. Ooh. 3 steam cores. So let's... I kind of want to bring them in, but what is our pop growth like? The inheritors have stopped it again. Well, that's a bit of an issue. The inheritors keep stopping my pop growth. We might need to pass laws to address that issue. Although it's a very unique issue to have. I suppose that doesn't change from the fact that it exists. It's an issue we have to deal with at some point. Ah, there's the bio-waste hothouse event. The Nothing Lost synergy event. Was kind of waiting on that one there. 43 to 36. We may as well take the opportunity to negotiate. A second survivalist headquarters is fine. I love finding those easy promises to make where it's a building I'm gonna build anyway, so I can make this promise to make us look really, well, make me look really good to the council. Really trustworthy. When in fact I plan to do that from the beginning anyway. But they get to think they pushed me to do it, you know? There's a difference. They get to feel important. That's the point. So now at, let's see, compliance. Due to neutral trust levels, industrialists will optimize their factory lines to boost efficiency, but will cause the lines to consume more materials. And I assume that's only for the industrial districts? Yes, so now they're still increasing the cost, they're just not increasing it as much. And it's making more... Is it just goods, or is it whatever you focus it on? It's whatever you focused it on. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. And I do see increased strain is reducing efficiency, which makes sense. Machinists admire your leadership. Well, that's unusual. Usually they don't. It's a rarity where I managed to get both, well, I guess they don't really like me right now, do they? Yeah. I did ask them for money. But for once, the overseers are not radicalized. They're just really upset. Because we made them de-radicalize. You can't win around here. You just can't win. The idealists are actually the only reason squalor is not an issue, which means the next 50 I need has to go to anti-squalor measures. We could let progress fill up because I feel like the others are going to keep a generally happy head. I mean, the overseers will probably try to murder us at some point anyway. But half of the adaptation buildings are just better. This reduces squalor by another pip for 20 less heat. It takes 100 more workers, but I feel like people are not going to be a problem soon as time goes on here. Although people are got injured earlier, so the amount of population that's working is dropped.
The overseers.
That could be a problem, actually. Life support. Increasing number of workers are choosing... Oh, because of the free essentials, right. Right, yeah. Man, I usually do paid essentials. I kind of forgot about that event. I was like, what is he talking about? Because he lost his mind. Just realized I have 15. Oh, we're about to search this anyway. Coal mining complex, very nice. Free core, very nice. We'll actually go ahead and explore for more cores first. We don't really need more coal at the moment, but I wanted to get that coal mine established before the next whiteout hits. What I really need to do, though, is something that increases our pop growth. Allow productive outsiders. You just want me to change the law. They're trying to be sneaky. They're trying to convince me to change laws. Could change that one. Nah. I'm sure everything will be fine. Unless it gets colder. Anyway, Teleton guidelines. We didn't get to go over that too much. Or was it? It was transportation access. Free public transport. Production efficiency increase. Increase to crime. Decreasing heat stamp income. I guess because it's easier for criminals to get around the city. It's harder to chase them down. Or personalized transport, where everyone gets their own personalized transport. Could mass public transit and free public transport, could that be a synergy, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what potential synergies are in this. That would be interesting, though. It would mean an equality law synergizing with a progression law, but maybe it doesn't work how I think it does. So what's interesting here is both the laws give you increased production efficiency, but this one costs heat stamps and increases crime. This one costs more goods, but you get trust and you get heat stamps. Shoot. It's a good question on what I want to do here. I kind of want to give the overseers a bone, but equality is so painfully high because we had no merit until now. Worker accountability. Goods demand per capita is slightly decreased. Ooh, you know what? I kind of want that. At the cost of trust, I'll take it. Trust and certain communities being less happy with me, but, you know, we won't pay any attention to that. We'll try to not pay attention to that, but they'll probably make us pay attention. 2,000 Frostland dwellers in a walled camp. And another coal mining complex. We finally found all the coal! It was just sitting beyond the mountain range. Oh! Reflecting on her long, fruitful life. My goodness, how far we've come. When we first arrived at this site, I was just a young woman, as with everyone else, shuffling coal, erecting tents, and praying that we'd make it to the next night. And now, as the city has fostered thousands of souls, the council representation... I'm sorry, that doesn't work. I'm sorry, hang on, I have to break character here. The council represents us? Or the council gives us representation? Something like that, I think. The populace, a voice... Oh, I did this with the dev diary earlier. The council gives us, the populace, a voice in the direction of the city. Does it mean maybe the council representatives? Maybe. Anyway. I know we have served the city all our lives, and I fear I don't have long left. It may seem selfish, but I think I would like my final years to myself and my family to give me time to truly understand the life I lived. I'll speak with the other delegates. Laws regarding retirement have been drafted by the council. Oh, she is a council delegate. Oh, that's cool. Yep, so I think... I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but I swear sometimes I exhibit the symptoms. Oh, so that... Oh, what? That's 4 laws? Okay, cool. So, literally, you just get a whole new law book by event. So, public pension trust. Each worker will be allocated a flat pension. Less workers, strains decrease, per capita decrease, trust. Defined contribution. That one seems easy. Although you have to ask if that's nice. Oh... Each worker will be provided a platform and allocate a small portion of their wage to a pension fund, which will be invested and can be withdrawn upon reaching retirement age. So basically, this is Social Security. That's basically Social Security right there. Shelter provided by housing is slightly increased. I already know the law I want. I don't care that it knocks down the number of active workers. Slightly increased. Oh, they're both slightly increased. One costs trust, one adds tension. Okay. Okay. I think we're gonna do care homes, because I am biased for anything that lets me get more shelter. I am heavily biased. Optimize automaton navigation. I guess that would counterbalance the whole, you know, letting the elderly retire. I guess we can let the elderly retire in our city.
The delegates have spoken. The law takes effect.
Alrighty, there we go. We'll solve that lack of population growth. I thought we'd get 50k pretty easily here before 2 hours. We're sitting here like, what's a population growth? Past tax exemptions. I love it. Repeal care homes. We just passed it. I mean, I don't mind switching to exemptions. It's just gonna be hard, but I guess we can try. God, they hate us. Why do they hate us? That is cool, though, that the starter factions in the game can make reactions and stuff. Make demands of you, I should say, with the new laws. That's pretty nice. See, we had a lot of things drop here a little bit. Oh yeah, how much is it giving us? 3.6? That's nice. We are gonna have to figure out something soon. I'm sure eventually this will descend into the usual Civil War fiasco stuff. I'm sure we're heading for that at some point. It's easy to avoid the Civil War on citizen difficulty, like super easy, and the difficulty before it, which I forget the name of. Well, once you get the Steward and then Captain, it does get harder, since it's a lot easier for people to get upset and a lot harder to make them happy. It's not impossible, but you do have to walk a fine line, which is arguably harder than just siding with one faction and just throwing the other one off a cliff. There's a lot of coal up there. I think we need to start looking into that coal up there. Can I just link it right there? Okay, that works. That makes this easier. Meeker coal mine, landmark, and a huge herd. Cool. What is the next whiteout? Can't check it yet. It's too far away still. We can't see it, Steward.
This week's free essentials allocation is available for collection at your assigned city warehouse.
I love some of the announcer lines, because sometimes he just sounds so bored Like, he wants to do anything else right now than read this. And other times, he sounds notably different from that. And I think that's on purpose, and I just love it. Ooh, efficiency bonuses. Who doesn't love a good efficiency bonus? I guess the people not earning the efficiency bonus don't, but, well. We'll upgrade the generator. We've got the cores for it now. Optimize the tauntaun. Right, I did promise to pass this, didn't I? Another deep melting drill. You guys really love your deep melting drills. I could promise to research that. Too many promises. How many promises do I have? Oh, I had to build a moss filtration. I knew I was missing something. I just couldn't remember what. 13 a week. Costs 100. That mass public transit is eating into it. Faction rally. Oh, Bohemians. I completely misunderstood when I read that for a second there. I don't think we need to suppress Squalor that much, but well, they made me promise for it, so I don't really have much of a choice here, do I? More meager coal mines! So we can harvest them and then watch it run out and then wonder where everything went wrong. Okay. And I'm really having to rely on the foragers here. They've been making up a good bulk of the votes. Mostly because they're opposing us and I have to give them promises so they stop opposing us. So it's more like I'm bribing them.
The proposed law has been approved.
Alrighty. Oh, right, I promised to pass tax exemptions, didn't I? We should probably work on that.
Take note.
As our next law.
A new rule enters into force.
Yeah. Oh, the inheritors are upset now. Because they don't like progress, which we've been favoring, and they don't like reason, which we've been favoring. So, due to negative relations, inheritors often agitate citizens when attempting to swap people onto their beliefs, decreasing trust and increasing tension, as well as becoming more aggressive in their breaches. Oh, good, so now they're just sabotaging. Yep, extremely decreased. Oh, aren't they a little annoying? And here I thought they loved me. Apparently no one does. Overseers and industrialists. Man, my trust is starting to really nosedive here suddenly. What a good game. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
The eyes have it.
61 to 51. Very nice. So... yeah, I guess we might have to pass a tradition law. I can think of at least one to do that with. Research Pathfinder Scouts, grant Legionist agenda.
Take heed.
So many things to do and so little time to do it all. The inheritors seem cool, but they just keep sabotaging my population growth. You see? How rude of them. How rude. I gave into one of their demands, and then they respond by starting a riot and ask me to build a patrol watchtower so I can watch the riot, I guess. It's a very weird demand. Look, the overseers are onto something. They're playing 4D chess. Don't worry about it. That is probably the easiest demand I've ever met for a protest. Build a patrol watchtower. 2 military vaults in one area. Whew. That's a bit rare. Let's get the heat stamps for that later. You know, if we survive. Angry at the steward giving in to the overseers, you negotiated the overseers, causing the Bohemians to radicalize. Oh yeah, I forgot. The faction that likes you will radicalize if you negotiate with their opposition. Usually don't get to do that path. Usually people are setting everything on fire. Usually. The heat pipe watch ending would suck, but I'm just gonna let this vote. Oh, hey, city development effort.
Hear ye, hear
By 3
ye.
votes.
The proposed law.
I mean, I guess we have access to coal mines now, so it's not as problematic as it was before. Yeah. That makes sense. You know, we could get recovery hospitals, which ironically would counteract the inheritors' population growth negative. I usually don't build hospitals, because I usually don't need them that much. I guess we could do dutiful youth, but I don't know. That gives you a lot of workers. But I want to keep strain down as much as possible. Decisions. Let's actually go ahead and get the recovery hospital. In part because then we can look at the new laws. We have run out of food. Or rather, we will run out of food if I don't do something about it. Badge of shame. That's a normal event. It's when you don't really have disease going around, but you have the infectious disease law. Regarding the self-quarantine by identification.
To avoid unnecessary queuing.
Materials from production of iron deposits will be more difficult. Oh. That's probably going to be the easiest whiteout ever, because we're not mining from those yet. I don't have to actually pass this law. It would be nice to have. I don't really need it, though.
The votes are
Yeah.
in. The measure fails.
It just wasn't worth doing. Wow, everyone is actually not trying to murder me. Cool. Everyone's on the verge of it, but don't worry. Yet. Oh, I just saw an event appear for half a second right here at this high-rise housing district, and then it vanished. That is kind of a base game issue. Hopefully the upcoming update later this year fixes some of that. I don't know what causes it. But I'm just noting it because it's not an issue with the mod. That's just a problem the game itself has been having. Anyway, prosthesis design, tobacco. Was this? Yeah, prosthesis. I said that right. Optimized prosthetics. Okay, this is adaptation, production efficiency, strain reduction, or restorative. Oh. Actually increases trust and drops tension. They both reduce strain, but it's basically, do you want more production or do you want more trust and less tension? City-owned tobacco shops. Or productivity incentive. Wait. Workers who meet their quota can earn rationed access to tobacco as a reward. By linking tobacco access to performance, we provide motivation while ensuring usage remains controlled. So not only can I sell them alcohol, I can now sell them tobacco too. That's great. I love it. I very much love it. That's great. Population's growing again now despite the inheritors thanks to the recovery hospitals. So that's nice. Building a pet cat, city on the progress cornerstone. That is from the base game. Kind of skipping over those events a bit here because we're more so interested in anything that has to do with the mod itself. Okay, we don't really care about that. Prosthetics design, we can start research for. Everything else here mostly has its own thing done. We never lost here still. We've seen the smoking one with tobacco now. Transport access we still have to do research on. We haven't done the free time yet, but I guess we don't really need to regulate it. I just don't want to drop our production efficiency, since we don't need the strain reduction. Now, if we need the strain reduction, that'll be a completely different circumstance. But we don't really need it at the moment, so I'm just kind of sitting over here as we do. I really thought we'd have more people before now. Man, the inheritors do a good job at preventing population growth. You know, I kind of want to do this as a productivity incentive. Might as well. Why not? Kind of want to see what the industrialists look like when they're happy. Holding a bull's suit, the city has made progress towards the equality cornerstone, even as the idealists have dropped to compliance. They're still reducing disease and tension, but they're increasing good demand. Oh, wow, that goods demand did spike. But they're still suppressing disease, so that's fine. It's definitely a pick your poison kind of thing. And the thing is, you can't get rid of the communities. The communities are there to stay. They're not like the factions where you can just wipe them out and that's it. You actually still have to deal with them and any of their interests, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for you.
Personal documentation is to assist with body.
So that's fun. Core from the architect. Uniformed commune, 1,600 laborers. We might as well. Our population's been growing very slowly. Plus, more people means more taxes. Sparing a baby seal. It's a lot of the cornerstone events are firing now just because nothing is in their way. So we had a lot of the other events going off for a while. Let's negotiate. Yeah, let's promise to research the coal liquefactor. That'll make this a little easier. It's one of those things we were going to eventually research anyway. This just lets us use it as an excuse. They do kind of move a bit too tightly together, but that's kind of just a UI issue. Which might be a little difficult to solve. Why shouldn't we have to rely on cigarettes to be productive? It doesn't feel right to tie our health to efficiency. Well, I mean, someone's got to be productive. And it's not me. Service exemptions. Man, we're just playing like a roulette style here with this, but sure, why not? It's the machinists who'll be upset, not more important folk. Speaking of which, I do need heat stamps. Actually, the Bohemians the ones who are upset now. Man, they really don't like that I negotiated. Which feels a little ironic, but oh well. Oh, there we go. They're over it now. they got over it. Someone kind of sweet talked them into getting over it. That's good. Service exemptions. Now we have to do a negotiation for a negotiation for a negotiation. God, what is happening? If we negotiate with the idealists. Experimental treatment. Sure, and then we'll just roll this with a 50-50 chance of passing or failing based on everything.
The proposed
it failed. Well,
has been rejected.
That could be a problem. So is the fact that our coal supply is precariously low. In fact, maybe we quickly upgrade this to an actual coal mining settlement that won't run out and send some of our people away. There we go. All nice and stable now. Plenty of workers as it is anyway. Definitely need more goods, though. It's just a normal need of ours. We could try to pass it again, I guess. No, it's 30 to 37. Too many promises. Right, because there's so many people we can promise stuff to now that that makes this a lot harder, huh? Okay. I'm digging it. That's really cool and terrifying at the same time. Kind of like city development effort now, where you have a lot of promises and it takes too long to get it all done, and suddenly things are not going well, and now everyone wants to stab you because you forgot that one promise. These are pretty good mods. These are pretty good mods. You know what? Durable prosthetics sounds like a good idea. 35 to 37. Jeez, this is not going well. Oh yeah, that's one by one vote.
The law is
Cool. An experimental treatment is its own law, so that's a new problem. Oh well. We might just end up failing it at this rate. It's 31 to 37 now too, and I can't really do anything. Let's just roll the dice. This is gonna be like actual politics where you keep trying to ram the same law through for 15 weeks, and it keeps getting rejected. Okay, well, that's gonna end pretty poorly then. Someone's gonna be asking for my head. If they don't all freeze to death first, that is. Because that might be what comes next here. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to just do an emergency upgrade to the generator. Because we don't have that level 2 up yet. That could make the coal more effective. Yep, there we go. 18 to 26, geez. Well, I'm already rolling the dice, we may as well go broke. Or go for broke.
The proposed law.
It barely passed. Nothing is passing easily here. The fact we have all these extra groups and they can be causing problems where suddenly we have even less goods to use, or we need even more materials than we're used to. It's such a debalance. Ooh, healthcare bottle. Free healthcare reduces disease, but costs heat stamps. Or paid healthcare reduces trust, but gives you heat stamps. I wonder if any of them have hidden events associated with them too. Language regulation. Radical idea. Where you can either use newspeak, or however you might pronounce that, to restrict certain words to eliminate divisive or unproductive ideas. That's considered a reason law. Or tradition, with sanctioned vocabulary. Words deemed divisive or corrosive to unity will be prohibited, ensuring speech reflects our values and traditions. Yeah, I can't see anything going wrong with that. Absolutely not. Nothing will go wrong at all. Oh boy. I don't know, I love the idea of efficiency bonuses. I also love the idea of personalized transport, but it sounds like... Ooh, the housing blocks reduce strain? Huh. Neat. Maybe we can afford more strain than I thought. I kind of want to do personalized transport, but we're having so many issues passing laws as it is. I think I'll just get the dense housing block and be done with it. Could have just done nothing. God, that's right, because we have tax exemptions now, because I was pressured by the overseers into doing it. And now I don't have, Interesting. Also, yeah, the inheritors being mad at you, they can nuke your trust. Wow. I mean, ooh, they're a problem on their own. What are we passing now? Optimized prosthetics. I'm despised, though. I don't think it'll pass at all. Can I get the inheritors something? Investigate corruption. Use an ability. I'll just construct a new watchtower. And I actually don't care if it fails. I just want the promise so they start hating me less.
The no's have it.
Dang. I mean, we kind of thought that would happen with how many people were opposed to it, but still. Angry inheritors grow more radical, causing them to radicalize and join the Bohemians. Oh, cool. Cool. Why does this affect our relations with both factions? That's weird, but okay. I don't think that's working entirely as designed, but it is a mod. Something is going to break. God, we make so few heat stamps now. I really gotta solve the goods crisis, at least. Okay, no more research for now. No more research. I don't have the money as it is. We should never have passed tax exemptions. Whose idea was this?
Of a maintenance brigade.
We're gonna have to flip-flop on that again. Yeah, I think we might have to take a risky flip-flop on that because the lack of heat stamps is making it very difficult to build up the city. Oh my god, we're suffering so much political gridlock, it's not even funny anymore. It's just painfully realistic. It's just painfully realistic at this point. They're gonna be upset now, but I just had to do something. Anything to get more goods being made. There we go. That doesn't really solve the issue so much as it just lessens the issue. Oh, we have none coming from the population because of all the negatives. I see. That is a very big issue. Huh. Yeah, I didn't really notice that at first. I guess we'll get personalized transport then. Or at least try to. We need to generate money somehow. Promising new cure. At least we got that roll to go. Miracle cure discovered. People didn't die from a random treatment. Council gridlock. You don't say. Right, I hadn't noticed. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I would never have realized if not for this. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think they're letting me past that. Jeez. You know what? Maybe we do a common role thing, but that's just reduced strain on production. Yeah, we're kind of in a gridlock position at this point. We can't really pass anything without it failing. There's so much division in the council. They're trying to pass almost anything, almost inevitably fails. Which is not great. It's not great.
Please do not pilfer moss from the towers.
Could do fun projects, but it's a little hard to
Air
do
filtration
that.
process.
Personalized transport. Maybe there are other things we can pass. We don't have options. Maybe we establish a colony and just forget about the whole problems in the city thing. You know, run from our problems instead of actually solving them. That sounds like a great idea. I cannot see how that would be an issue at all in the long run. Just gonna clear this area out over here. And we have no heat stamps, but that's okay. I didn't like heat stamps anyway. 18 to 37, this is not passing. Oh, jeez. struggling to pass a law. Why would I promise to pass a different law? Some patients may die. Oh, God. Research and hold vote on mandatory crowding. Sure, I can do that. I love how I'm despised just because of the inheritors are just telling everyone how terrible I am.
The proposed
Jeez,
law
2 promises,
has
still
been
barely passed the
approved.
law. And we're still not making more money. Emergency council session, please no. We don't need it. We don't need it. It's not needed.
Take note. A new rule enters.
I can only imagine how it might be on captain difficulty then, when these negatives are even higher with various laws. We'll just leave the coal there for now in the mine. Can always come back for it later. That service exemptions and mass public transit together are so costly. You need a law that counteracts it, or else it just eats away at your revenue, which I think is a good thing, because otherwise their bonuses are too good without the cost. Build at least one salvaging factory. What do you think I'm trying to do? I mean, I'm actually researching an alternative solution there, but I guess we'll just go with their path.
Food additive is safe for consumption.
But what we really need is to just lift the tax exemption. It's not worth that production efficiency increase. I would even just take no common rule at this point, but that has the same chance of passing. Please, give me my tax revenue back, I beg of you. Please, the government needs its tax revenue.
Hear ye,
Yeah.
the noes have it.
Yeah, I should have expected, give them tax exemptions, then they're probably just going to keep pushing for the tax exemptions instead of saying, yeah, you can tax us and make us pay even more money. We'll be on board with that. No, they won't. They'll never be on board with that. Why would they ever be on board with that? Why would they accept being taxed even harder?
Or rare seeds should be handed over to the relevant authorities for identification. Observation.
We're just gonna queue up the research for now and ignore the fact that a timer is ticking in the background called build things. Or the fact that the next whiteout's on its way. Hey, another coal mine! One that we can actually use, that is. Yay. Just ignore every other problem and it's fine. The fact our population isn't growing is... that's just the Merit Core store. Is very odd thanks to the inheritors. So we're kind of just stuck at a point where it's not unstable because the population isn't growing. But we're also not going to get our objective in this showcase of the 50,000 people. I thought we'd get it pretty quick. I didn't realize the idealists were going to just kneecap pop growth. Which is fine, but it just took me off guard because I didn't expect it. Forgot to switch you over to goods production. That would have solved this issue a while ago. Huh. Oh well. It's a bit late now. That's not going to finish researching in time, is it? That took longer than I thought. Yeah. Oh well. We could... Rain is significantly increased if you rush researchers.
An automaton has broken
I mean, that makes sense, but oof.
traffic.
Due to lower trust, workers no longer... Wait, trust affects productivity? I forgot about that. That's a thing in the mod? I didn't notice that. Hang on. Is it? I just saw that on the... the Bohemians are upset now. They want me to research a radical law. What if I just convince you to stop? Would that be enough? They've stopped the only research system in the city. And thanks to the inheritors being extremely mad at me, we're now at risk of just being thrown out of office. Well, that and everyone else is kind of just not happy at this point. By trying to appease everyone, we have appeased no one. Which, again, is just so reminiscent of reality that it's really funny. And scary. Well... I guess we'll promote you. That'll be enough, right? So at least they stop protesting. Then I don't know what to do from there. Aside from that, we need to build the salvaging factory, not because I want to, but because we technically promised that we would, and if we don't, that will be a new issue. Let me... You know, laws that benefit trust sound really good right about now. Approved areas for smoking. I see, so they're trying to improve the usage of it. Take your vote. You're trying to get me kicked out of office anyway, so I really don't care what happens.
The delegates have spoken. The law is tabled.
Man, I love watching over half the laws we propose getting rejected and nothing getting done. I totally don't miss the days where we just got things done in a rapid-fire motion. Where we didn't have any of the stresses of what if it doesn't pass. I have no heat stamps. Man, passing tax exemptions was such a mistake. I didn't realize how bad it would get. Can we find more tea to sell to people? That was a really nice time when we found that tea. Now I just want to go make tea instead.
For the destitute of the Frostland.
Okay, so... maybe we take a desperate decision and pass Liberated Youth for trust. What do you mean they're marginally upset by the fact that I'm using bodies to fuel the generator? The people fuel the generator. I wasn't lying. They really do. Okay, is there like an easy promise we can do here? Research waste incineration next? Yeah, we can do that. That wouldn't be hard. Maybe that helps our trust. Oh, wow, we actually have a little bit of clapping. Haven't heard that in a while.
The law takes effect.
Still despised. Just slightly less despised. This might end with us getting thrown out of office. Oh, if that's how this ends is I get thrown out of office, that would be beautiful. That would actually be beautiful. Ah, no, I was a bit too good at it. Oh, man. And I was just getting ready to get thrown out of office. Oh, fund the collective. Idealists and Bohemians. Oh, this one gives you a bit of trust, too. That's nice. When it's finished. Man, I was looking forward to enforced exile at gunpoint. Or, I guess, shovel. I don't think we have guns. I don't think we got that. I don't remember, actually. Yay! It's getting cooler just before the fact that extracting coal will be more difficult, and I don't have any stockpile because I didn't prepare, because I didn't think ahead.
Do your problem on the Steward. Take responsibility for your own domain.
I'm glad that the announcer is taking my side, saying that they shouldn't just blame me, they should blame themselves too. You know, we gotta share the blame equally. I don't think that's gonna make them any happier, though, but, well. Well, that might help, though. There we go. Landmark. Another coal mining complex. We could just open more coal mining complexes instead of stockpiling, I suppose. That is another option. We do have those options. And why not? Everyone's just kind of sitting in the city, twiddling on their thumbs, wondering when they can overthrow the Steward in 5 minutes. We need more people. Let's go find more people before the whiteout hits, so I can force them to work in the mines for the rest of their lives. God, man, these inheritors have really sabotaged us. Guess that's why it says they're sabotaging. Barrett Cornerstone progress. What can I promise? Investigate corruption. Build another... I can build another recovery hospital. That sounds fine. Can I have money to build a recovery hospital? Can I ask them for money now? Can I have a donation for the recovery hospital that you just asked me to build? I promise it'll be used for the hospital and nothing else. That's a joke. I'm lying.
Always be on the
Man, they're still
lookout
upset.
for generator breakdown.
Oh, whoa, wait, hang on. We have multiple laws for, tobacco. I thought we only researched one? Wait, hang on. Interesting. So when you research one, that unlocks the law category, but apparently it also gives you approved areas and scientific use as your alternative laws for it. Huh. And then you could just... Interesting. So, not counting the unregulated part, because that's just not having a law, you actually have 4 potential laws for the smoking. Huh. That's pretty cool. I wonder if any others have that as well. I'm doubtful. It says there's new laws in each area, but some of this is just like, you know, the youth was unlocked and all that, and we've already seen it. And then the scout one we never passed because, like everything else in the law book here, we can't pass it because people are too upset about the idea. If I could get off this taxation issue, though, I'd feel so much better. Yeah, maybe we could enact optimized prosthetics next. The overseers won't like the fact that I'm flip-flopping on taxation laws, but the city is broke, so they can be upset and start a protest. I guess that's exactly what they're going to go do, is start a protest. At least the idealists like me again. Oh, right, the idealists stopped liking me, so not only did I lose my trust boost, I got trust whacked. Huh. Didn't think about that.
Is in effect.
And now we're making 16 a week. Instead of -5, we get plus 1.7. Isn't that nice? We can actually afford things. And then I kind of want dedicated... What is our worker activity at? 60.2? Well, that's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. 900 people, take them in. Tar pits. Landmark. People are somewhere else that we're gonna go find. What's not to love about the city? The unnamed location of our darkest desires. It's a nice mod. It definitely adds a more political strain and stress to your city. And this is only 3 of the 12 communities they plan to add, each which have their own effects at negative, neutral, and positive relations. I actually would like to see what the industrialists... Before this is over, because we're nearing our 2-hour point, I do want to see what the industrialists give you. I mean, we could bribe them. Build dense housing block, I can do that. Yeah. Can I make you another promise? Build activated heat dispatcher. I'm just trying to kind of farm out a bit of support here at the last minute. I'm mostly just looking to get them to be happy with us, just so we can see what their allegiance bonus is before this is over. I assume it's just more efficiency without increasing the
An extreme
needs.
windburst is incoming.
There we go. There we go. We got it. Due to high trust levels, industrialists will optimize their factory lines to boost efficiency and maintain professional tools to decrease goods demand. Ah! Oh, that's nice. It does say current relations with industrialists is actually increasing it, but if we're looking at the text, it's saying it's actually causing them to decrease goods demand because they have professional tools. So I guess they don't break as easily. Let's go to the one that's not being decreased here. So yeah, they're giving us an extra 10.5 goods from this, which is nice. And then obviously if you switch it over to prefabs, they boost the prefabs production instead, which is nice. That's a lot of prefabs. I mean, we have salvaging factories, of course it's a lot. So that's pretty cool. And then kind of make you stop sabotaging things. Maybe another patrol watchtower, because we just don't have enough eyes watching everyone, I guess. Apparently. Yeah, that's not passing. But thankfully, with that, we've kind of seen what each faction does when they really like you, don't really care, and kind of dislike you. I guess we didn't really see the idealists when they're upset with you, but I assume what happens is they start increasing tension, probably. Which, whether that's useful or not, I think kind of depends on your goals. So that's a different step. Oh, right, we promised to pass optimized prosthetics, didn't we? Is this going to be done in time? I think it fails just before. Oh, no. Council's up just in time. 40 to 37, and I have to make a promise or else we fail. So, I have to make a promise to avoid failing a promise. Sounds about right. There we go. We haven't seen any of the synergies that I heard about, but it could be that most of them aren't in yet, because we just had the one synergy I know about that we didn't go for, so it could just be we skillfully avoided all the synergies. So now short trips take forever, priorities are all wrong. I'm talking so much, I'm missing the unique dialogue they wrote in, but thankfully you guys can pause it. I'm just gonna end up missing it, and then I can't read over it. There we go, we've got trust kind of back on track here a bit. Kind of. It's not fully back on track. But we've been keeping so many promises that we can kind of keep things balanced. Kind of. Well, we'll get through this whiteout here first. Well. Yep. So normally what you'd be able to do with the what is it called? The whiteout management is that you could declare a whiteout lockdown, which drops heat demand, but you lose available workforce and tension will grow because of it. Oh, I'd love to have guided voting. Oh, we can't because we tried to please everyone, so everyone doesn't like us now. Well, some of them like us at this point, but earlier they were really considering ending the current stewardship and replacing it with a different one. As if they could replace the steward. They'll never find a better steward. I promise you that. There is no better steward than I. So about being a better steward than everyone else, do make sure you're not near any of the key heat pipes or generators during a whiteout. They, might forget to prevent it from going... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, that's a lot of people who are not happy now. Oh, hey, our goods surplus is suddenly negative. I wonder why. Man, I really need to pay more attention to my generator. On the bright side, food demand's lower now, though. Because there's less people to feed, because almost 900 of them died. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was pretty bad. Sheltered camp. Logger's hut. There are still some laws we haven't fully uncovered, I think. I'm pretty sure there's nothing down the parenthood tree. We found the healthcare model. I don't know if there's anything hidden behind it. What else? Let me research work compensation really fast, because there's supposed to be a law behind that is new from what I'm seeing there. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And watch as the population remains stable, because the inheritors hate me again. Man, the inheritors are just sabotaging us every which way.
They are here to help.
I just want more people to then forget about and cause to accidentally die because I'm not paying attention. There it is, worker competence. The training program, which costs heat stamps, but you get more production efficiency and you get less strain. Or employment exams, which cause you to have less workers because not everyone can pass it, and it increases tension because, you know, people are kind of being forced to be assigned where they're most efficient regardless if they have a preference to work it or not. But you still get that reduced strain and increased production efficiency because, you know, they're working in areas where they're very confident, so you have less accidents, in theory. And of course, having alcohol just makes people less strained because they forget their worries. There's less stress in their bodies, let's put it that way. You know, less strain, less stress and all that. Let me go over the law book really quick, but I think we've kind of covered almost everything. Obviously, we haven't covered various rule laws in here, such as bureaucratic accountability and public enemies. But it is also fairly obvious that going down those paths, it gets a bit iffy. Now, there is the regulated press one, which is a bit more open. It gives you an ability to regulate kind of the ideology you want to promote, which I believe means it basically gives free progress in this little list here to one of your chosen ideologies. Very fun. I know they're called Zeitgeists in the game. I guess I'm just used to the word ideology because of Victoria 3 and the ideologies that are in the game all the time. Vote on efficiency bonuses. Well, see, the problem is that I kind of gave the agenda to someone else. They're voting on a new retirement law. God, they can't help themselves. But with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here. This is a pretty fun mod. If you're looking for more laws to be added into the game and for more communities to exist to present a larger challenge, again, communities that you can't get rid of. You can't just remove them like you can with a faction. These people are here to stay. They will be doing things, and you will have to deal with it. I haven't exactly seen the food production. Is it where I think it is? For the inheritors. There, you have current relations with inheritors. It affects food buildings. I'm wondering if that means it affects the radical food building too, the Panaceum. But that might be something for you guys to find out yourselves. They are planning to add more communities, as mentioned. They are planning to replace various placeholder art with human-made art. I think if we go over here, I'm not sure which ones are AI generated. I think, gosh, where is it? There was one that I was made aware of, but I don't remember where it is. Anyway, oh yes, here it is. This is one of the placeholder art pieces that is going to be replaced with human art once, you know, they have a human make it, because this is a passion project. But with that being said, if you liked the video, you can find the mod in the Steam Workshop, or when you boot up Frostpunk 2, the Political Overhaul Mod. If you want to just support the developers, you can always leave a like on the mod page, give it a good review, give your feedback to it. It's a very nice mod, and you can use this with the city development effort if you want to make it even harder than it already is, if you thought juggling that on algorithm difficulty wasn't hard enough. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.